Time now for Reporters Roundtable to put the headlines in perspective. Ross Ramsey is back with us from the Texas Tribune in Austin. Bud Kennedy is here from the Fort Worth Star-Telegram. And Bernadine Steptoe is a political producer at WFAA in Dallas and joins us each week for this segment. Ross, we'll start with you. We just saw the coverage and the ceremonies for the January 6th insurrection the other day, which was inspired by former President Trump and his supporters. Considering that, what is the weight of President Trump's endorsements now in the Texas primary?
You know, I think he's still the most popular Republican in the party nationally and the most popular Republican in Texas. And I think anyone who actually crosses him is probably in trouble. Not getting his endorsement might not kill people. We'll have to watch a couple of races to see if his endorsement has the most weight or somebody else's. There was one race last time that he and Rick Perry were on opposite sides. Perry won that. It didn't seem to put a dent in the president.
Yeah, that's a good point that Ross makes, Bud, because every Republican seems to want the president's endorsement, former president's endorsement, but is it doing any good so far?
I don't think anybody's afraid to endorse against him, and particularly in the agriculture commissioner's race, where people seem to be piling in for James White against Sid Miller, who was, one of Trump's big campaigners when he ran for president. I don't know that the Trump endorsement is carrying that much weight.
Bernadine, what do you think?
Well, we really won't know until election night, but the candidates are trying to get it. So they apparently feel that he has some kind of weight or influence in the party, but we really won't know until election night just how much influence he has. But he is very popular.
Yeah, he does remain that.
And nationwide.
Right, and election night's what, 51 days away now until March 1st. But I want to ask you about the Republicans campaigning against Greg Abbott for the Republican nomination for governor. None of them really seem to catch on so far and have really caught any momentum. Why not? And this is not really what polls are. I mean, this is what polls are saying. Not really a surprise to some people.
Well, they're really not that well known to the general populace. Almost certainly known within the party, but Don Huffines consistently very little known statewide. When you have to run an ad saying that if you win, there'll be prayer back in schools and the Cowboys will win the Super Bowl, I'm not sure how that plays for people in Houston, Jason.
Houston with the Texans, or San Antonio, Bernadine, or in Austin or anywhere else, right?
Right. But anyway, keep in mind, too, that there's so much news going on that they're not going to get a lot of free publicity in terms of television coverage, radio coverage, primarily because you still have the pandemic. But the only one who seems to have money other than Abbott is Huffines. So we'll just have to see how that goes.
Yeah, and Ross, Huffines and Abbott are both on television now with ads. Do you think that any of that might close the gap with them? Because polls are still showing Governor Abbott way out in front of his opponents.
All the challengers have to depend on dissatisfaction with Governor Abbott, and all the dissatisfaction with Governor Abbott's on the Democratic side. Those people aren't going to vote in a Republican primary, so they've got to figure out a way to get Republican voters not only to know them, but to decide to vote against Greg Abbott, and I think that's a pretty big hill to climb.
And then I guess final question, the final moments here too, is any idea which way independents are going to swing? You guys have done a lot of polling.
Right now, the independents are swinging toward the governor, but I think that group is going to be in play as we go into November.
Yeah, still a lot of time left for that too. Guys, thank you so much. We appreciate that. Thank you for watching as well. We're back again next Sunday to take you inside Texas politics. And